We have Ms. Erica Flinsbach. She's the UNISA Turnitin System Administrator and the 2018 Turnitin Global Innovator Award winner. She encourages academics to use Turnitin in a positive teaching tool, and they are developing rule as a formative process to improve students' writing and originality in student research. Ms. Flinsbach has received international recognition for the work that she has done by developing an innovative and excellent approach for the effective and efficient use of originality check applications. Secondly, I'd like to introduce Mr. Heri Bobape. He is a physics and mathematics scientist. He holds a master's degree in business leadership in strategic management, and his dissertation was in social impact of information technology. He is currently a director of research support, where he makes sure, and the primary role is the operational execution of research strategy at UNISA. And lastly, we've got Dr. Gloria Ritwaba, who is a senior lecturer at the Center of Excellence in Disability Studies. She obtained her PhD in early childhood education and became part of SEDU Ethics in 2017. One of her main focuses is to ensure accessibility and ethical practices when, when supporting people with disabilities in all settings. Thank you. I'll be now handing over to Ms. Erica Flinsbach. Thank you.
Thank you for the kind introduction. Good afternoon. I trust that you are awake on a Friday afternoon as we challenge this AI challenge that we do have, which we wish to address through the usage of Turnitin technology. And that would be the focus of today's presentation on what does Turnitin do and how does it enable you to use technology to identify AI, so on artificial intelligence usage, whether it was done positively or negatively. When I started to prepare the presentation, I thought to myself, well, what does it do? So that would be the first question that we need to answer. So what does it do? So Turnitin's AI writing detection indicator shows an overall percentage of the text in the document that was submitted that may have been AI generated. The accompanying report highlights the segments that are predicted to be AI written. So this is what we can expect from the tool itself. So why is this needed? Okay. So Turnitin's AI detection capability optimizes accuracy while ensuring low false positives uh, in order to uphold academic integrity and safeguard the interests of students. I just want to stop here a moment. We very often see in this world and of originality checking, especially where we need to follow up on suspicious content or content that does not speak to the task that was at hand, that it is largely ignored that students' intellectual property also requires protection. And this is achieved through the proper application of the Turnitin software when originality checking is done. So that is also one of our key focuses here at UNISA, to make sure that we do protect our students, even if it's just against the false accusation of plagiarism, or in the event that their work might be plagiarized in future, so that we can be alerted to that fact. So the Turnitin AI writing technology will work in conjunction with this action. It is a highly proficient in distinguishing AI writing content from the human written content specifically for student writing, as that is what our expectation would be. So, how does it work? Now, it is a technical challenge for me myself to understand exactly how it generates the specific report on AI. And I would like to read the answer that I have drawn here from the Turnitin frequently asked questions list, which is available on their website. You will see further down in the presentation that they do have a whole host of resources that you can consult to educate yourself in this new world that we are facing, in opposition of the originality checking, but it is not necessarily a negative thing. It is a positive approach as well. So what happens when it receives a submission? The submission is first broken into segments of text that are roughly a few hundred words. Those segments are then overlapped with each other to capture each sentence in context. The segments are run against the AI detection model, and it gives each sentence a score between 0 and 1 to determine whether it is written by a human or by AI. Using the average scores of all the segments within the document, the model then generates an overall prediction of AI findings. The accompanying report will highlight the segments that are predicted to be AI written. If you need more detail in this specific regard, they have a very nice diagram online that was unfortunately too large for my slide. So you are welcome to consult it online. So they show you exactly how the sentences overlap and how they award the 0 and the 1 to determine the findings that they highlight in the in the report on AI detection. So the availability of the Turnitin AI writing detection. Turnitin submissions post April 2023 are automatically checked for AI writing. So simply by making a submission and Turnitin receives the document, the AI detection will run in that regard. The AI writing detection results, meaning the percentage and report, are visible only to instructors, so lecturers and supervisors, or if there are examiners involved or specific investigators, they may be able to see these findings. Currently, the detection is only available for long form writing in English, and it is supported for English. The other languages are to follow. Now, for those of you who are not accustomed to speaking about longhand writing, for me, an easy translation for that would just be simply in narrative style. And this is important to understand that when the report is generated for AI findings, it looks at the narrative content within the specific document. So it does not take the document into consideration as a whole. It will only look at qualifying text, which could potentially have been prepared by an AI tool. So Turnitin AI writing detection workflow. It has got a very easy workflow as it is integrated with the similarity report. So the capabilities are built into this similarity report. So when you open the report, you would be able to access that. This means it is integrated with the UNISA learning management system, and this is the process that UNISA is currently busy with, is to include it by default within the learning management system. So instructors can check their student papers for AI writing without having to change the way they work. And in simple terms, this just means that when you access the submission of the student that was made, so the actual document, the assignment, the chapter, or the research report that the student had to submit, it generates an originality report inclusive of a report on the AI findings, therefore. To make things a little bit clear, I have included here an example from a similarity report. You really do need to understand that this is different from the AI report. It is an independent report. Now, the example that we have here would show you a submission that was made. Um, it checks for originality within the content. On the right-hand side, we can see the similarity index that most of us are familiar with, and then a breakdown of the sources, the findings within that specific originality report. It will still highlight in different colors all of the matches that have been identified. And this is how it arrives at the similarity index. Now let's move and speak on the report percentage for AI writing. So the AI writing detection model generates a separate report. It is independent from the similarity report. The Turnitin AI writing detection model highlights are not visible in the similarity report. It will only show you the percentage finding in the similarity report, not the highlights, as to ensure that it does not confuse the view at present. So the percentage generated by Turnitin's AI writing detection model is different from the similarity index. Please do not expect it to be the same or higher um, or added together. This is a completely separate percentage. In this slide, I've just taken a corner from the originality report to show you on the right-hand side where the AI finding would be visible. Now, for this example document that we have used, the AI findings were a 50% match to potential AI written content. If we click on that, it will immediately alert us to say caution. It is possible that there is AI writing present within that specific document. So what will we find if we do move to that 50% and linked to the report? So the report contains the overall percentage of prose sentences contained in a long form writing format within the submitted document, okay, which the model determines may have been generated by IE. It does not say definitively yes, but I will talk to that as well shortly. These sentences are then highlighted in blue on the submission text in the AI writing report, and Turnitin, of course, also has a very nice writing detection summary online that you may access and view with regard to the finding on the report. The Turnitin AI writing detection model only highlights text that is highly likely to be AI generated. This is to help ensure that students are treated fairly while safeguarding the institution's academic integrity standards. Instructors should use this indicative percentage to help them decide how best to handle work that may have been produced or partially produced by AI writing tools. So as we always say with a similarity, you cannot just put a Turnitin report in front of a student and say, Turnitin says you plagiarized. That would not be a true statement. And this is again the same in the case of the AI writing. It identifies content, but it is there to assist you to review what the findings are and if they are indeed AI written. Now, what does the report look like? This is the exact same document that we have seen in the previous slides with the similarity check displayed. Here we have the AI writing report. When one clicks on the percentage of AI, it will open in a new window to disclose to you the findings. Everything highlighted here in blue has been found to be written by AI. This specific test was done by one of our lecturers. This was a text written in part by ChatGPT. So it has identified the specific content that the lecturer did retrieve from the AI writing assistance, and the rest was her own additions within that specific submission. When you are on the report, it will also provide you with links and help buttons that you can access to understand how it arrived at that specific percentage and what that would tell you. Now, the report itself has an in-product tour. So you do not need to go online and do a course or study up on how does this report work. Simply by accessing the report through the similarity report, it will offer you the in-product tour that you can visit repeatedly. It provides you with various pop-ups when you move in the screen to guide you specifically on the findings. Now, let's talk about the false positives. Turnitin AI Detector has a less than 1% false positive rate. Alternatively, we can say that they have a 98% accuracy rate. Now, I have done a number of tests since the day that it was launched with various documents from UNISA ad hoc. They have not been specifically prepared to test the AI tool. So we have at random selected a variety of documents that we have submitted to this check. And in all cases, the findings were accurate. I did not find any one document where it was identified that the student or a portion of the student's work was AI written, where the student actually had written that himself. So for me, that was a very good finding to be positive of going forward with the testing. Um, you do need to acknowledge upfront that false positives are possible. The instructor and the student should be prepared to have an open and honest dialogue in this regard. For instance, there has been a case where the lecturer had thought that the student used AI technology to write an assignment where actually the student had used a paraphrasing tool. And that has been identified through an open discussion, and the lecturer was able to guide the student on how to positively apply the various tools that are available. So if you don't acknowledge that a false positive may occur, it will lead to a far more defensive and confrontational interaction that could ultimately damage relationships with students. And this is what we wish to avoid. We wish to build academic integrity, and that is what we want to encourage. Therefore, an open and honest approach to the report. Okay. Now, here we have resources that address false positive. I've only selected a few. This number is growing by the day that they make available as Turnitin learns from the users throughout the world. I think you can understand that having something like over 60 million students within the Turnitin system, having can't remember exactly now how many thousands of institutions worldwide do utilize Turnitin. The nice thing is that this is now available. It's available throughout Africa. All of our major universities of note within the continent make use of Turnitin. The AI tool was also developed to acknowledge or to recognize second language learners or for those who do not have English as a first language. And that has been part of the Turnitin Test Lab interventions when they develop this detection tool. And the tool is continuously being developed and addressed as we grow within this AI environment that we are faced with. AI writing report interpretation. So, when reviewing report findings, the instructor will need to apply professional judgment and needs to consider the context surrounding the assignment. Conclusions have to be aligned with the expectations the instructor has set for the assignment and an understanding of exactly what is to be evaluated. We always look when we consider the similarity in findings on the purpose, the expectation, the subject field. And in this case, we will add a fourth item to say, but then what is to be evaluated? Taking those things in consideration, you are informed with information from this report to make a decision on the way forward. The determination of misconduct. Turnitin does not make a determination of misconduct. The percentage on the AI writing indicator should not be used as the sole basis for action or a definitive grading measure by the instructor. Very simply put, you cannot create or set a cutoff percentage in this regard. AI writing reports provide data for instructors to make informed decisions based on their specific academic and institutional policies. This is what makes the tool so valuable because it is flexible. It can be applied and adjusted to the specific institutional requirements and to adhere to the policies that we do have in place. the determination of misconduct, what actions can be taken. There are, again, a number of resources available on the Turnitin site to guide you on how you would utilize this specific tool, or how you can address findings within that with in a classroom or in a teaching upset, or even if you are in a one-on-one conversation with a master's or doctorate student. So they do build on this. There is a blog site available as well for Turnitin that you can visit. It is open and accessible via their website. The main website for Turnitin is turnitin.com, where you would find under resources the various links where you can access details in this regard. And that brings me to the end of the presentation. So I thank you for listening. I believe there's perhaps a few minutes, 5 minutes, if someone does have a question. How are we for time?
Any questions? Oh, I checked because lately we had the challenges with the license, Turnitin license. Is that sorted out?
There is no concern regarding the license. The UNISA Turnitin contract, the new product that we have acquired, I have ensured that this feature is available. It will be, and it will remain going forward in future for UNISA.
We don't have any more questions.
There's a hand at the back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a hand.
Good morning. Oh, afternoon. I'm Clement from MMC. I heard you talking about the actual AI detection tool, but I wanted to find out how ready are the users or instructors to utilize it in order to adhere to that 90% accuracy rate. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. I will answer and then you will confirm whether I have perceived your question correctly. The AI detection model is actually very straightforward and easy. It's easier to understand than the actual similarity report. System users who are familiar with the originality report and have undergone training on analysis of similarity reports would find it very easy to link to the percentage and to the AI report. For UNISA itself, as soon as the integration with the learning management system has gone live, we are running in next week a live test, and the week following we intend to implement. At that stage, we will set up specific training sessions and we will provide the necessary resources for all of our instructors on how to utilize the function.
Yes, I'm answered.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. My question is a follow-up from Mr. Wabafer's question. Are you saying that the Turnitin platform is now available for students because there's a student of mine who is due to submit her thesis and she hasn't been able to submit to Turnitin. So is the platform currently available? Because she received a response that there's a new platform that will be introduced. So I'm not quite sure between the response you gave and the introduction of the new platform. Thank you.
Thank you. The platform is available, but it is not currently active due to the integration process. If you do have students at M&D level who need to finalize for examination purposes, the Turnitin desk will support them individually. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. I'll be now handing over to Mr. Bobabe.
Um, a very good afternoon to you all, and how are you? Um, um, my my name is Maisho Papi. Ha ke le kgatlha ke le tebele ke setlogolo sa Banareng ke kgomo ya Matole ke motho wa Boletebelemela wa shikina lona o swara bothata. So that's how they address me at home. So it's quite a long one, and thank you very much for today. As I was just indicating to colleagues in my office, this is it's not really heavy stuff, but it's not really the stuff to be digested on Friday after lunch. Uh, So, but in that matter, it is okay. So, and then I was asked to look at the issues of promoting research integrity at an ODL university, and I'm going to deal with just that, and then it is important for us just to start with the definition. What does that mean? What does really that mean? And then when we look at it, research integrity as it is defined by Stegneck, is defined as the ability to adhere to the highest professional standards in conducting research. Is essential for upholding the reliability and trustworthiness in science. That I unquote. That is what the definition that is the definition that I'm going to use in the whole in the presentation. And if I have to speak about research integrity, that is specifically the ability to adhere to the highest standard, to highest professional standard in conducting research. And I'm struggling with this thing. Okay. So as an introduction, I looked in terms of various critical issues in terms of research, and the promotion of responsible research practices. One of the primary responses that's a concern research integrity. So the promotion of responsible research practices, it concerns research integrity. And then as I already indicated, research integrity is about the performance of research to the highest standards of professionalism and rigor in an ethically robust manner. RI is vital because it creates trust, and trust is at the heart of research process, because that is quite important, because everything that we do after we look at your results, then when we go and after your result, you indicate further research that is required on the space. If told your research is not trustworthy, if all there were corners, if all there were a form of shortcuts, then it's going to be a very um, confusing and then a very unfortunate situation. So, and then we as researchers, we should be able to trust one another and to trust the work of each other. So, and then as a result, therefore, research integrity plays a very crucial role as part of that. And then as a result, if those kind of issues are ignored, the trust, and it results to what we call research misconduct. And what is research misconduct happens when standards of integrity and ethics are ignored or abused. So that is as a result of that. And then as a result, as I already indicated, that the research that cuts corners, skews or exaggerate results, and undermines the knowledge base of the discipline, meaning future research is inherently flawed because it's based on this lack of rigor. So that is why we have to trust one another. That's why research integrity is important, because research that comes after it depends on that. And then research integrity is an agenda item. The fact that research is on the agenda of today's Research Council, Institute of Higher Learning, um, send out a strong signal to research community. It acknowledges that it acknowledges the importance of this topic and is a positive step in raising awareness of the centrality of research integrity to the research ecosystem, as indicated by Dr. Maro and who's the chair of the Science Europe Working Group on Research Integrity. It is important. It is key. It needs to, because it cannot be ignored. Research integrity cannot be ignored, because as a university, we have to adhere to those, and it is important and to ensure that it is always in the agenda of every department, of every individual. So we look in terms of the roles in promoting research integrity at this university or other universities. That is important. Who are the key role players to ensure that in promoting research integrity? And then one of the important thing, promoting and implementing research integrity is a joint responsibility and an effort of multiple stakeholders in the research community. And this includes, I will start with the Vice Principal Research and Innovation. That is quite important, that his role and responsibility, or her role or responsibility, is for overseeing and leading a research integrity on behalf of the university and the university community. And then it's also important that you recognize your role as the chair of the department, or the head of the department, of the director of the department of which you are ultimately responsible for overseeing and leading on research integrity within their departments, because it cannot be left to the research office within the university. The departments and everybody else at college level, they are responsible to ensure that they recognizes their role in promoting the research integrity within the university. And then also the Department of Research Innovation and Commercialization. They are responsible for championing and promoting research excellence and integrity by ensuring that the university policy and procedures um, relating to research integrity are fit for a purpose. Then we need to look in terms of our environment. We look in terms of what we propose it is really going to help us to ensure that we have an able environment that will produce research of high quality and of high professionalism. And on continuing on the same note, and which is important, and then this is the onus is on individual researchers, including the postgraduate researchers, are responsible for maintaining the highest standard of integrity in their work at all times, and not some of the times, at all times. We really need to look at that and ensuring that they are aware and understand and comply with all legal obligation and university and departmental policies relating to research, including research misconduct, seeking guidance where necessary. And then it cannot be enough when you explain that you didn't know. that you are flouting policies. You didn't know you are flouting research integrity policies of the university. So the onus is on you as an individual researcher. The onus is on you as a postgraduate student. The onus is on all of us all to ensure. And then again, going to say who are these important role players within the research integrity environment. We look at the principal investigators, research group leaders, and project leads. And then they have to they should be taking the lead on compliance with legal obligation in terms of the funder requirements and the university and departmental policies relating to research and research integrity. That means that no one is safe out of this obligation. And then as a result, also we're looking at principal investigator, they should ensure that that all necessary regulatory and ethical approvals are in place before commencing of the activities which they apply or which they wanted to do. So that is quite important, that it shows that every individual is responsible to ensure that the research integrity policies and procedures are observed. And also, again, the supervisors and of students, they have to be responsible for that. As I indicate that it cannot only be the responsibility of the research office or research integrity office. So supervisors and students undertaking research are responsible for ensuring that their students are aware of the legal obligation in terms of even of the funder requirements and the university and departmental policies relating to your research, and have a clear understanding of appropriate practices in line with these frameworks. So that is quite important. And the university as a whole, and the university, we are not meaning the building, the university we're referring to you, the individuals that ensures that they come here. The university as a whole, it is responsible for ensuring that there are adequate provision made for training and development to enable staff and students undertaking research to attain the skill necessary for their role. So in terms of promoting research integrity, the university have to ensure that everybody is aware and aware in terms of what their role is in terms of the research integrity space as is concerned. And how do we promote research integrity at an ODL university? Is there any steps that we need to be taking to ensure that research integrity is promoted within the university? So yes, there should be quite important that, as I indicated, sustaining and improving a culture of integrity in research requires diligent oversight to ensure that the practices associated with integrity are carried out. So, and one of the key issues that are important that I'll look at institutional management. It is important integrated research integrity consideration into overall approaches to research, education, institutional management is important. That means we have to integrate. We cannot have stand-alone things, continue to have stand-alone things, stand-alone policies, stand-alone frameworks, which at the end of the day, they become so many, and then they make no sense to anyone, and then it doesn't help anyone to ensure that we are on the same path. Institutional leaders need to demonstrate through their approach to oversight and implementation of policies that fostering research integrity is central priority that supports the quality of research. And then that means that at the end of the day, we cannot only preach in terms of we as management, only preach about research integrity, how important it is, how rigorous we should be in dealing with research integrity. But when they make decisions, when they implement policies, when they do other things that affects the staff and the university communities, they are not doing it in a appropriate and then with that sense of integrity. That means that they will also have to practice what they preach, not only when we conduct research, but in other spaces as a university when they are taking those kind of decisions. Then it will encourage many of us to say, but the management have that sense of integrity, then let's follow suit and do. We exercise research integrity even in our own space. And also, it will be also, I indicated, it will also be a huge mistake for the institution and college leaders to observe that the institution has basic policies and administration procedures in place and assume that research integrity issues do not require their attention. So as a result, as I indicated initially, is that who are the roles and role and responsibility. Roles and responsibility in promoting research integrity. I indicated that heads of departments and various people have to participate. We cannot just say we have the policy now, it is enough, that is what we have to do, and then we are done with what we have to do. So it won't be sustainable for the university to ensure that we are promoting a research integrity at all levels within the university. And then as we continue that, what we need to do, we need to provide research integrity training courses that addresses the key issues and challenges faced by senior and established researchers, principal investigators, and those with the leadership and management responsibilities. So that means we cannot just go and find, because it's just a training, and then there are so many service providers that provide training in research integrity, and then we just go and train, even though it's not aligned to what we really want to do, what we really want to achieve as a university. We just go and take that thing. But we need to be able to propose training that will really addresses the key challenges that we face as researchers at this institution and as management and people responsible for managing the research integrity. And as a result, those kind of courses will be able to support the institution in facilitating responsible research conduct and ensure researchers are familiar with best practices in research. And training will ensure that all research carried out under these universities meets the highest standard of integrity. Because immediately when we provide that kind of a training, it will be easier for us to be able to make that determination at that level to say this what we are doing is at the highest standard of integrity. So that's why it is important that we understand our roles and we provide this kind of training to ensure that everybody else is able to make that assessment at that level to ensure that the university doesn't find wanting. And then again, that if we provide that training and then we create that enabling research and innovation environment of research integrity, and that will prevail. And then what is going to be able to do is that we will be able to be promoting good practices together with the whole community, and then in terms of it will be very much fair and transparent to everybody who's participating, because we are transparent. We have that kind of sense of being able to be in a way that we are able to conduct and be able to lead in that specific way that people can ever see that we are in any way leading ethically, and as a result they will be able to trust us, and they in turn they will also be able to deal with matters in a very ethical way. And again, in order for us to be able to do these kind of things, is that we will need to have a cohort of qualified and trained individuals in research integrity. We need to have what you call research integrity champions with expertise and experience in this particular area, because we won't be able to succeed if we don't have people who will be able to execute this kind of a strategy. And as a result, and when we have these people, they will help us to shape the development of our internal processes, procedures, and codes in the areas of the promotion of good conduct of research. So that is important that we need people in order for us to be able to promote research integrity. We need people who are trained, who have the skills to ensure that we have these kind of things. And then also, as a university, we have to be able to create a platform that will have multiple opportunities to undertake training in research integrity and associate activities. And again, and then as a result, which is quite important as well, we need to have a research integrity checklist. And then this checklist should be designed for uses by supervisors and researchers at the start of research projects and for discussion periodically throughout the project. And at the end of the year or annually, we review those checklists and to see that we can improve on the specific issues of research integrity. So we need people, we need everybody else to be involved within the university, and then this environment should be in a way that it has the aroma. Like for instance, it should be in a way that when you pass Kentucky Fried Chicken, you can hear the smell, and then when you pass a researcher, you should hear the smell of RI, research integrity, from this particular engineer, so that because that is what we really need to enforce within this university. And then in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the promotion of responsible research practice is one of the primary responses that concerns research integrity. And then promoting and implementing research integrity is a joint responsibility, and research offices within the university or within the university cannot do it alone. And on those few words, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to thank you. I didn't really want to go into the issues of the research integrity research, where we'll be speaking about the Singapore statements, we're speaking about the Hong Kong statement, we're speaking about the lately we're speaking about the Cape Town statement. So I didn't want to go to those kind of issues, but just to look at the operationalization of those policies and how do we best promote research integrity within the university or our university. And on this few words, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to thank you.
Thank you. We have any
Well,
question?
Just move away from this one. Move away from.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Mine is not a question, but I'm kindly requesting you, if ever you don't mind, can you share the slide with us? It was a interesting presentation, and I would love to reference to what we have said also. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. The lady will respond to.
I'll share the slides with everyone. Thank you, Mr. Mubabe. I think mine is also a comment, not necessarily a question. I was thinking about academic integrity in sessions for students as well, because I think people who are in this room might be academics and not necessarily students. And I think the same needs to be translated. The training that you speak about on different levels, that it should also be translated or given to students. Through this week, I think we had a session on Chat GPT. We've been having a lot of sessions amongst the academics and the information and the integrity is not being articulated to students as it is, to us as to how do you detect AI. So it's just a comment to say that the same training should also be emphasized for students as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. very much. Yes, that's a result that I tried to highlight in terms of the roles in promoting research integrity. I started with them again with the vice principal who's having a specific role, and then I'm looking at heads of the departments who are in close proximity with the students to be able to deal with those kind of issues. And then I also spoke about the individual researchers. I spoke about the principal investigators, and also spoke about the role the supervisors of students have to be in order to ensure that research integrity is promoted. So as a result, that is what I'm trying to say is that each and every individual have that specific role. It cannot only be the role of the research office or research integrity office in the university. Each and every individual as a researcher, as a parent, as a researcher, as a parent, as an academic, that should be part of your responsibility, because you meet as their lecturer, you meet with them, you discuss with them, you are very closer to them. And then unfortunately, our model, like for instance, as a research office, we focus more on the academic staff, and then the College of Graduate Studies, the one that looks into the matters of the student with that kind of a model that we have. But it doesn't stop them to come and let's speak to come and speak to the students. Then we will be able to deal with that, because we have also respect territories in terms of how these things are structured. But it will always be important. But at the core of things, each and every individual employed within this university have the role in ensuring that research integrity is promoted within the university.
Thank you for that. And if I might add to that, our Directorate Research Support does offer research integrity training, and we do invite the students, so they're always welcome. But if you feel like your college needs specific training, you can reach out to me and can organize that. Thank you. Do thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mbaku, for the informative session on research integrity. Mine is just a comment as well, and I would want to expand into this topic and say perhaps with the research integrity, we shouldn't be only looking at the content or the output of the paper that a student or a project leader could then come out with, but within the book itself, within the process of one writing a research paper or a research thesis, integrity should actually be promoted and be implemented at that stage, because I want to think that there are, many components into research integrity. I think you have touched on cultural integrity, and I think as we speak and converse around the research integrity topic, we need to expand in terms of our terminology as to exactly where does research integrity starts and where does it end. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Because when as it goes back to the roles of individuals, researchers, and what we say is that in that specific place, I highlighted that it is the responsibility of individual researchers, that includes students, to ensure in and maintaining the highest standard of integrity in their work at all the times. And then it is also ensuring that they are aware and understand and comply with all legal obligation and the university departments and policies, including all this thing. And also, which is important, to seek guidance. That is quite what is important for us, because we know and understand that we won't be able to know everything else. And then when we are not sure, it is your responsibility to seek some form of guidance in these specific areas. So I took what you said. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do you have any more questions? If you don't have any more questions, thank you, Mr. Bubalik. That was a very fruitful session.
Thank you.
Apologies. Apologies, Dr. Flora Ndaba won't be able to join us today due to unforeseen circumstances. So I'll be handing over to Mrs. Tanya Garcia, who's the Research Ethics Integrity at the Direct Research Support, and she'll be doing the closing for us. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Can you all hear me? Mr. Popope is still. Is it better? Can you hear me? I don't want to speak with you. So Tandu is saying what we all are. I'm actually the ethics administrator, but we do a mix of everything. So ethics and integrity, everything. So I'm just going to do the closing. Unfortunately, now that that you see me and not Dr. Ledwaba, but just to close off, then we have received some new information on the detection of AI in a Turnitin report, which is heartwarming since we are struggling with the new AI tools that's making so much headways these days, like ChatGPT, and there's some other ones as well. And we need to stay abreast of these happenings. And then Mr. Bupapi has shared then about the importance of trust in our academic scholarship. Now, just to inform you a little bit of what we have been doing in the Research Integrity Office, um, we take the promotion of research integrity quite serious. So we also took hands in with all the colleges, and then we trained 25 research integrity ambassadors in the course of last year, over the 2 years. I'm proud to say that Mr. Pupape is one of them. He is a research integrity ambassador, although he's also our director. And there is a reason why he spoke so eloquently and why everybody is going to reference and cite him. He has been trained in depth. So he also then is one of the ambassadors, as was or as is Dr. Gloria Ledwaba, but she had to turn back on her way here due to some personal crisis. So we really are sad that she couldn't share how to become a virtuous researcher. But we will invite her again to this platform, and please look out for our workshops because we have frequent workshops. Then just to answer the academic sitting in the middle, um, also to promote the importance of research integrity, we have embarked now on a 3-year license for access to the online EPGM course, which will give access to all academics as well as the PhD students with regards to research integrity training. And this is one of the things that we took up seriously. So we take these things seriously. We have a partnership with the College of Graduate Studies in doing this. So the College of Graduate Studies also do a lot of training to postgraduate students with regards to research ethics and research integrity. And myself has been invited, as did Dr. Visagie. She has ongoing training that she always provides to the CGS section. And that is all from me. I can't really give a lecture now. I was supposed to only do the closing. So I just want to wish everybody that's took time out of their day to attend today a warm thank you. And then please attend our workshops that we distribute on the email system. And then please enjoy your week.